One thing that I love more than actually writing code, more than closing deals, more than shipping code, more than delivering value to customers, just more than any of those, and more than creating these videos, which I do love doing, more than any of those things, the one thing that I absolutely love doing is marketing. It took me a while to really figure out that the one thing that I'm super passionate about is marketing. And maybe it was from working at Marketo as SVP of strategy and being inside of a marketing company, or it was while I was taking ToutApp from 0 to 7 million ARR and creating an actual mini brand around ToutApp at 7 million ARR where people wanted to pay us to wear our I Close Deals t-shirts. I think somewhere along those lines, I finally realized I absolutely love marketing. Now, on this episode, I'm gonna walk you through my 3 strategies on how to do marketing right for your SaaS company. But before I jump into that, I have this qualm with marketing. And let me explain. The problem I have with marketing is people oversimplify it. When you think about marketing, these are some of my most favorite books on marketing. By the way, this is some of my favorite people from Tout. When you think about marketing, you think like marketing. But when you really break it down, I've got books here on actually writing ad copy. I've got books on copywriting. I've got books on brand. I've got Primal Branding is one of the best books about brand. There's this classic book, The 22 Immutable Laws of Branding. I have another book somewhere over here. Maybe it's here or it's somewhere over. There's another book called The 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing. I really don't know where that is right now. Maybe it's somewhere over here. Crossing the Chasm, that's a really good one. So you get the picture. Marketing is just not this one thing. It's this very broad body of knowledge. And maybe that's why I like it so much, because there's just so much to it, right? So on this episode, I'm not gonna try and do marketing disservice by just dumbing it down, but what I will do is give you the 3 principles that matter the most. Out of studying all those books and practicing marketing and helping build brands, I'm gonna give you the 3 things that you can adopt by the end of this video so that you can actually transform your marketing in your SaaS business and use it as a strategic advantage for growth. Intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Unstoppable. I'm TK, author of the book, How to Punch the Sunday Jitters in the Face, entrepreneur, and I also run the Unstoppable Legion, where I help start founders with an unstoppable mindset and an unstoppable growth strategy. On this channel, I bring an episode every single Sunday to help you actually grow your SaaS business and also lead an incredible life while you're doing that. So if you're into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so that you get notified every single time I drop an episode. Now, I've said this before and I'll say it again, and I even made t-shirts for this, which I'm not wearing today. And also, don't get freaked out that I'm wearing a button-down shirt. I just have a really important meeting after this, so I need to dress up. Sometimes I dress up, it's not a big deal. One of the things I always say in this channel, as a startup founder, you really have these 2 levers. You're either shipping code or you're closing deals. Ship code, close deals, ship code, close deals. Those are the only 2 things that matter. Now, here's the thing. When you actually nail marketing, when you get marketing just right, shipping code and closing deals becomes easier for everyone in the company. Because you'll start to have a mini brand, because you'll start to actually get noticed more in the marketplace, because you'll get into more customer conversations, shipping code becomes easier because customers will find you and tell you what they want, and closing deals becomes easier because you're in more deals because they'll always think of you in your space. So when you nail marketing, when you really get it right, it pays off dividends for everyone else involved in the company. Everyone's job becomes easier. And that's probably why, as an engineer, I love marketing, because marketing is truly a leverage point that you can use to make everything rise up. And so on this episode, I'm gonna walk you through the 3 principles that I have around marketing that I've picked up from years of actually practicing this, implementing this, learning from others. I'm gonna break it down for you into 3 simple strategies that you can start to follow, especially if you're building out a SaaS business in the early stage where budget is limited. So if you're excited to dig in, smash that like button and let's get started. Now, before I go into the 3 strategies, which I have for you here, I wanna first give you my favorite definition of marketing. I tried to Google this, I couldn't figure out who exactly said it, but if you know who it is, put it in the comments below. But great marketing is when more people know about you today than yesterday. Isn't that awesome? Great marketing is when more people know about you today than yesterday. That's it. That's all that matters. As more people know about you, then they're going to take action. They're going to actually enter into customer conversations. That's going to make shipping code and closing deals a lot easier. So if that's the definition, it's as simple as that. How do you actually do it? So I have 3 of these strategies for you that, after researching brand marketing, researching demand gen marketing, researching copywriting, researching ad copy, after doing all those things in multiple roles that I've been in and multiple companies that I've been part of, here are my 3 strategies. When I look at SaaS businesses out there, there's the big mistake that I see. This is where my strategy number 1 comes in. Great marketing is specific, polarizing, and consistent. Specific, polarizing, and consistent. Let me break that down. It's very specific. I see a lot of websites where I go to, and this is one of my most favorite things, when I get on calls with startup founders because they want to join the Unstoppable Legion, and I'm like, on the Zoom call, I'll be like, hey, I'm checking out your website. 99% of the time, the startup founder is like, oh, we're redoing it. And the reason they're always so self-conscious about their website is because they're hedging. They're not being specific enough. They're not being polarizing enough. And also, they're not being consistent. They're constantly changing the website. And look, I get it. You want to iterate in the early stages. But if your marketing copy, if your homepage, if the way you describe your company is not specific, if it's not polarizing, if it's not consistent, then you will not start to build out a marketing machine for your brand. And the way you start to do that is you start to take a position. You start to get very specific about who you're talking to. You start to actually take a polarizing position because it's a noisy world out there. And you actually start to say, you know what? We're gonna make a very, very unique point of view, and we're gonna take that stance and we're gonna go into the market with that, and we're gonna own it. And you're gonna consistently do it over and over and over and over and over again. Once you nail these 3 things, everything becomes a lot easier. How do you start with something like this? Well, I did an entire video on how to create an ideal customer profile. You can check that out here or here, and I'll also link to it below. You don't have to leave this video yet, I'll link to it below. But in that ideal customer profile video, I actually teach you how to actually craft a message that's very specific. That can be polarizing, but doesn't make it sound like you're crazy, and you can deliver it in a consistent way. I have another video on that, I'll tell you about that in a second. But as soon as you start to get specific and polarizing, people will start to notice, they'll enter into customer conversations, and that's just the first step in really making sure that you're shipping code and closing deals. The second strategy that I have is you gotta talk about the thing about the thing. Let me explain. Most marketers or most startup founders that are putting on the marketing hat, and I made the same mistake when I was starting ToutApp, I would talk about the thing. The thing being my SaaS product. I would say, well, we did email tracking and templates and analytics for salespeople. And it wasn't even that specific. It was like, well, if you use email, you're a power email user, we help you actually be a lot more effective with email. That means nothing. It means nothing. It's not specific, it's not polarizing, and it's definitely not consistent because I kept changing it. Once we defined our ideal customer profile, we said it was for salespeople. Then we started to really understand what is the thing about the thing. And when you think about it, you always can put your thing into a sentence. For any customer that's happy with your product, they can say, I use the thing, which is your software, so that I can blank. Figure out what that blank is. We realized at a certain point with ToutApp, it was salespeople, first of all, that was our ideal customer profile. But more importantly, they used ToutApp so that they could get pipeline. And when they got pipeline, they could go close deals. Pipeline and closing deals was the result that our software delivered. It was the thing about the thing. Figure out what your thing about the thing is and talk about that. Get specific about that, have a polarizing view on that, get consistent about talking about that. Talk about the thing instead of the thing, and everything becomes easier. You wanna know why? The reason is, if I come to you and I say, you know what? Hey, Joe, or hey, Nancy, whoever you may be on this other side, did you know that marketing is really hard? We help you do marketing better in your startup. We help you figure out a go-to-market strategy. And by the way, being a startup founder really it takes a mental toll, and in order to do marketing right and sales right, we help you get your mindset right too. You'd be kind of interested, right? But if I come in and say, did you know that only 4% of startups graduate from the seed stage to the Series A stage? That means the mortality of startups is 96%. That's funded startups, not some Joe Schmo startup. So imagine what it's like for a bootstrap startup. It's probably even lower. One of the biggest things you can do to actually change that metric, to actually be part of that 4%, is increase the number of customer conversations. When you increase the number of customer conversations, you can ship code and close deals and be a lot more effective. Are you interested in talking more if we can help you with that? Just think about how different that is. I'm talking about the thing. I'm not talking about what features my product has. I'm not talking about what aspects of the program you're going to go through. I'm just talking about what the result's going to be and what you're going to accomplish and some macro trends that really are going to make the difference for you. So don't talk about the thing, your software. And I know you're excited about the software. I get excited about it too. I'm an engineer. Talk about the thing in your marketing. When you talk about the thing and you get specific and you get polarizing about it, and you're consistent about it, then more people will start to know about you today than yesterday, and even more tomorrow. Now I have a third one, but before I jump into the third one, what do you think about this? Can I just get a yes in the comments below if you're starting to get this? And I also want to hear from you. Which startup are you working on? Also tell me, who do you think is crushing the marketing game today? You can't say Drift. Everyone knows Drift is crushing it. And you can't say Privy because DG's now at Privy. But who else in the SaaS game do you think is just crushing marketing and doing it exceptionally well? I want to hear from you below, so hit me up on that. With that said, let's go into number 3. Number 3 is don't sell an improvement, but sell a transformation. Don't sell an improvement, sell a transformation. I see a lot of ads on Twitter. I get targeted by SaaS companies all the time. I don't know why, but they're always like, X is just not good enough, or Slack is not enough, or here's a better way to do X, Y, and Z. And it's just an incremental improvement. Here's the thing. When you are talking to me about an improvement, I'm already thinking like, man, that's a lot of work. I got to do yet another thing. And I'm invested on this other thing, and they're the leader, and I got to do this. It sounds like a lot more work. And you're now talking about the thing and not the thing about the thing, and it's related to the thing I'm already using. I just get confused and I get turned off. And I see a lot of SaaS businesses not going big enough and not really saying, here's our big position in the market, here's our big point of view, here's how we're gonna change how you do things, here's how we're wildly different, and you get super specific and you actually really push for it. You kind of play small and you try to hedge all your bets. And that's where SaaS businesses really go wrong. That's where you're starting to position your thing. First of all, you're talking about the thing and not the thing about the thing. And really, you're talking about an improvement. X is not enough, or it's like Y, but better. Well, it's like, well, who cares? I'm pretty good over here. But when you start to position it more as a transformation, everything changes. When you start to say, you know what, in order to actually grow your startup, here are the things that you do. You get a blog, you do blog posts, you do SEO, you run ads, you do this, and this, and 96% of them still fail. Here's a whole different way to think about go-to-market. Here's a whole different way to do the marketing. All of a sudden, you're talking about a transformation. We did this at ToutApp. At ToutApp, we were like, look, it takes 7 touches to turn a lead to an opportunity. How many of your reps do you think are actually doing those 7 touches? We have a whole system that actually systematizes those 7 touches, does some of them automatically, and the rest of them the rep can actually engage on their own. Are you interested? That was a transformation instead of an improvement. I wasn't trying to say look, we can improve your sales productivity. We tried that. It didn't work very well. It didn't go very far. But as soon as we start talking about the thing, pipeline, as soon as we start to sell a transformation, everything started to change. So think about your marketing and ask yourself, are you being specific? So let's go through this. Let's recap, right? Number 1, are you being specific? Are you being polarizing? And are you doing it consistently? Number 2, are you actually talking about the thing, or are you just stuck talking about the thing because you care about it, but your customer doesn't care? You got to talk about the thing. And then finally, when you think about your messaging, are you pitching it as a slight improvement over the current thing and you're talking about your competitor, or are you talking about a transformation, a new way? Are you positioning yourself as being the fastest or the cheapest or the quickest or the best and the most premium? And more importantly, are you actually pitching a mindset shift? When you actually pitch a mindset shift, a different way to think about it, a new opportunity, everything starts to change. And the most successful companies that you can ever think of came into it with a mindset shift. If you can get your customers to actually change their mind on how they think about something, they'll trust you forever. And they'll be with you forever. Then they'll buy from you. And they'll be interested, even if they're with a competitor right now. So in summary, great marketing is when more people know about you today than yesterday. And my 3 strategies, going through them really quick again: be specific, polarizing, consistent, and actually do a transformation instead of an improvement, and talk about the thing, not the thing. By the way, if you want to dig more into how to exactly do this, I created an entire guide around this. It's called The Unstoppable Guide to Product Market Fit. I'll link to it below. It's completely free and you can download that. I also run my Unstoppable Legion. My Unstoppable Legion is a program that helps startup founders do two things. Number one, we actually help transform your mindset so that you can approach these things. A lot of the founders I work with are technical founders, just like me. I have a computer science degree. I had to learn this stuff. That's why I have so many books on it. I had to shift my mindset to actually adopt the growth that I needed in my life so I could grow my startup. The second thing we do is we actually help you implement these things, these ideas around an unstoppable funnel, which is a different way to approach sales and marketing. So if you're interested in that, the details are in the guide. So download the guide. We'll go into the details on exactly how this whole thing works and how to actually build an unstoppable funnel. And if you want to work closely together, the details are in there to apply as well. In my next episode, I'm going to take these 3 strategies and apply it to a real SaaS business and talk through exactly how I would apply it in a concrete way. So I'm sure you'd be interested in that if you're watching this far. So make sure you're subscribed and that bell icon is turned on so you get notified when I drop that episode next Sunday. Lastly, if you got value from this video, it would mean the world to me and my team if you smash that like button. It really would. That's how we know that what we're doing matters and is helping people. Also comment below, let me know who you are. I want to connect more with all of you. If you're part of a Slack group, a mailing list, an internal collaboration thing with other startup founders, do share this video. Sharing is caring. And it'll also show that you're hooked into the best strategies that are out there around SaaS. Lastly, I just want to thank you for joining today on this Unstoppable Sunday video. I absolutely am having a blast with these, and I've been having a blast even more. I've done nearly 100 of these videos, and you can start to see that shift. I'm starting to get more DMs, more emails, more messages, and just more subscribers, and it's just honestly so rewarding. So I want you to know that I appreciate you for being part of this community. And remember, everyone needs a strategy for their life and their business, but when you are with us, yours is going to be unstoppable. I'm TK, and I will see you next Sunday.